using it, I guess. All right.
It's what we're all using.
And it's in the middle.
Okay.
The mic is in the middle. That's the mic.
Oh, these don't work?
These are lights.
Oh. Got it. Okay, this will be fine. Is this shofar got to be there?
No, let's get rid of that. Let's just put it on.
Okay. This is so weird.
Have you given from here before?
I've spoken from here.
I see you've spoken from here, but it's weird with the hall, right?
There's no feedback at all.
Yeah. Well, Marcia and I will be in the front row, and so will John.
So I'll laugh at the jokes. Yeah. Okay. How are you, baby?
Good. Everything, the world's falling apart, but I'm fine. I'm distressed about everything.
Well, I'm just afraid not to accept the election. I'm really, it's a huge article in the Atlantic and also in the New Yorker about the same thing.
Disturbing.
If I don't sound the alarm, somebody will wake up.
Please, God. We're on.
Let's do Shabbat.
I'm going to.
One thing that I ask of you, God, is to be close to you all the days of my life. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Shana Tova. My name is Rabbi Sarah Paris, and on behalf of myself and Cantor Marcia Addy, we are so excited to welcome in this Shabbat Shuvah with you this evening. We are very honored to have Rabbi Larry Kushner with us to give a sermon. We'll be hearing his wise words later. Shabbat Shuvah, the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, focuses on forgiveness and self-reflection. It is one last Shabbat for us to get in all of the repentance and the self-reflection and understanding that we need to before the gates and the books are sealed on Yom Kippur. So for our service this evening, we're going to be focusing on some reflective poetry and some special melodies that Cantor Ad and I have picked out. We're going to begin with candle lighting.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We begin our service today with a poem by Marge Piercy called The Head of the Year. The moon is dark tonight, a new moon for a new year. It is hollow and hungers to be full. It is the black zero of beginning. Now you must void yourself of injuries, insults, incursions. Go with empty hands to those you have hurt to make amends. It is not too late. It is early and about to grow. Now is the time to do what you know you must and have feared, to begin. Your face is dark, too, as you turn inward to face yourself, the hidden twin of all you must grow to be. Forgive the dead year. Forgive yourself. What will be wants to push through your fingers. The light you seek hides in your belly. The light you crave longs to stream from your eyes. You are the moon that will wax in new goodness. We continue to welcome the Shabbat bride with Shalom Alechem on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu nira shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We rise for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, page 28. Shema and Via Hafta by Marge Piercy. You may be seated. Hear, Israel, you are of God, and God is one. Praise the name that speaks us through all time. So you shall love what is holy, with all your courage, with all your passion, with all your strength. Let the words that have come down shine in our words and our actions. We must teach our children to know and understand them. We must speak about what is good and holy within our homes, when we are working, when we are at play, when we lie down, and when we go up. Let the work of our hands speak of goodness. Let it run in our blood and glow from our doors and windows. We should love ourselves, for we are of God. We should love our neighbors as ourselves. We should love the stranger, for we were once strangers in the land of Egypt, and have been strangers in all the lands of the world since. Let love fill our hearts, and with its clear, precious water, heaven and earth observe how we cherish or spoil our world. Heaven and earth watch whether we choose life or choose death. We must choose life so our children's children may live. Be quiet and listen to the still small voice within that speaks in love. Open to that voice. Hear it, heed it, and work for life. Let us remember and strive to be good. Let us remember to find what is holy within and without. We continue with the Shema, page 34 to 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
As we recite the Micha Mocha this morning, I invite each of us to take a moment to reflect on what justice we think this world needs at this moment. The Micha Mocha is a prayer that, as I talked about at Rosh Hashanah, we think was said by a man who was taking the first steps into doing something that he believed his country and his people needed. And I invite each of us today to think about those things that we need to do for our country and for our world.
Thank you. I wanted to thank John Hurton here, who is playing piano with us. And John, why don't we do the melody for High Holy Days here? And let's do that this evening.
Page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים, זילי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Our thoughts now turn to those in our midst who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, or of spirit. If you have someone whose name is on your mind today, please type their name into the chat on the Facebook live stream while I read our congregational healing list. This evening, we are praying for healing, especially for Susan Cole, Susanna Benningfield, Frank Friedman, Barbara Felton, Ruth Rishkin, Adrian Garcia, Nechama Bat Menucha Malka, Liam Thornton, Karen Cole, Bob Wolf, Pam Heller, Saeed Abdul Majid Quadri, Sven Wolf, Sarah Ramov, Kimberly Boygan, Antonio Salazar Hobson, Michelle Schultz, Edith Robinson, Jennifer Begg, and Susan Whelan.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
As we begin the Amidah this evening, please make special note in your silent and personal prayers to recite all of the inserts for the High Holy Days. We only get to do them once a year in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur on Shabbat, so this is the Shabbat to do them. Please rise and join with us on page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Remember us for life, O Sovereign, who delights in life, and inscribe us in the book of life for your sake, living God.
Zochreinu lechaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, lemancha Elohim chaim.
We continue with some time for silent prayer and reflection.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tosim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tosim Leolam. Ki atah hu melech adon
is now my distinct honor to invite Rabbi Larry Kushner to our bima to share some words of Torah and wisdom with us this evening for Shabbat Shuvah.
This here meditation is named Our Town, but it could also be named Our Community. I have lifted it from the Pulitzer Prize-winning play by Thornton Wilder of the same name, Our Town. Kids nowadays don't read it the way we did when I was in high school, but it's still a very fine drama. It's a short play about life and marriage and death in a small New Hampshire town called Grover's Corners. It's narrated by the stage manager, who also plays the role of the clergyman and gets to say a few wise things every now and then. He starts chatting with the audience before the house lights go down. The members of the cast are all of you, the ones watching on your Zoom screens at home. Except for the Zoom screens, that's sort of how the Wilder play begins. Then the year was 1901, but today the year is 2020. For us Jews, it's also 5781, the 7th of Tishri. The time is 6:30 in the evening. It's Shabbat Shuvah. I'm not the stage manager anymore. I'm not even the rabbi. I'm just the teacher here at Emanu-El and a grandfather. Last month, we had a little outdoor dinner to celebrate our granddaughter Zella's departure for her freshman year at Kenyon College in Ohio. We were all so proud. Afterward, we all went home and cried. Why do people cry about everything they've prayed for? It got me to remembering how about 40 years ago now, Karen and I took our children, one of whom was Zella's mother, to visit Washington, D.C. We saw the official sites and even had time to visit the National Archives. I'll make the story short. We were lucky. Huddled over the microfilm reader, we found my father's mother and siblings. On September 23rd, 1907, after sailing for 20 days from the Baltic port of Libau, they arrived at Ellis Island. The manifest says they came from the town of Kalerka in Ukraine. Just handwritten names in a big book. The next day, in another volume of names, I found one Yakov Kushner. He had arrived over a year earlier to open a tailor shop and to try to save enough money to fetch his wife and children. The big book said that he had $10 in his pocket and was going to a friend's home on West 28th Street. His race was listed as Hebrew. One of his sons was my father. I look at the neatly penned information, and I wonder if they, in their wildest dreams, could have imagined that I would someday be telling you of their journeys. Will one of your progeny someday remember you and wonder if you could have imagined them? From Washington, we packed everyone in the back of our Plymouth station wagon and drove to Detroit. For us, that's the old country. And I would wonder where the years had gone, and I would wonder if my parents then wondered when our family would make its annual summer pilgrimage, where all the years had gone. And I wonder if my children will wonder where all the years have gone when they are 77, like I am now. It would be foolish to try to say something profound about any of this. I share it now only in the hopes that it will evoke your memories, your tears, your celebrations, your family, your birth, your death. I guess that's why I identify with the stage manager in Thornton Wilder's play. It's probably the big reason I became a rabbi. I now believe that it is the job of a rabbi to be present for all those great life passages. Rabbis are supposed to witness and then remember what Jews often don't have time to remember for themselves. Except, of course, during these days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. You know, the Yomim Noraim, the days of awe. That's when all the Jews become rabbis, whether they like it or not. The second act of Our Town opens with the stage manager musing in a laconic New Hampshire drawl. Yes, the sun's come up over 1,000 times. Summers and winters have cracked the mountains a little bit more, and the rains have brought down some of the dirt. Some babies that weren't even born before have begun talking regular sentences already. And a number of people who thought they were right young and spry have noticed that they can't bound up a flight of stairs like they used to without their heart fluttering a little. All that can happen in 1,000 days. And nature's been pushing and contriving in other ways too. A number of young people fell in love and got married. You know how it is. You're 21 or 22, you'll make some decisions, and then wish you're 70. You've been a lawyer for 50 years, and that white-haired lady at your side has eaten over 50,000 meals with you. So here we all are, members of our congregation, our town, rich people and poor, wise and foolish, beautiful and plain, from choppers of wood to drawers of water, people who just got married and ones who just got divorced, people who just got out of the hospital and people who are going in real soon, people who just got born and people who, God forbid, won't be here next year, people whose lives are finally coming together and people whose lives are falling apart. We come together these days to be aware of the great mystery and remind ourselves about what is truly important in our lives before we die. In the last act of Our Town, a young mother, Emily Webb, died during the birth of her second child. She sits in a symbolic graveyard among the others of the town who have died. Being a recent arrival and sensing that she could return to the world, she asks the others in the cemetery if it is possible. They tell her it is, but they also warn her not to go. They say it will be too painful. but she refuses to understand. Her bonds to the living are still too strong. She asks the stage manager why it will be painful, and he patiently explains. Well, you not only live it, but you watch yourself living it. And as you watch it, you see the thing that they, down there, never know. You see the future. You know what's going to happen afterwards. But she is determined to find out for herself. She selects her 12th birthday as a time to which she will return. She finds herself at home amidst a loving family, too busy to realize that they are alive. Oh, Mama, just look at me 1 minute as though you really saw me. Mama, 14 years have gone by. I'm dead. You're a grandmother, Mama. I married George Gibbs. Mama, Wally's dead too. Mama, his appendix burst on a camping trip to North Conway. We felt just terrible about it. Don't you remember? But just for a moment now, we're all together, Mama. Just for a moment, we're happy. Look at one another. But of course, her mother cannot hear, for she is back then among the living. One of the Moels who served the Jewish community of Greater Boston for many decades used to conclude the Kiddush immediately following a bris, wherein a Jewish boy gets his name, with, "And may we all dance at the bar mitzvah." The first time I heard it, I thought it was touching. But after I'd heard it after every bris, it got a little corny. But now when I hear it, I think it's even more powerful than when I first heard it. You know, there are only a half a dozen or so life truths, and each one of them has but a handful of coherent ways to be told. And all we can do for any important moments in our life is to speak them again and stand reverent in their mystery. I'll tell you one now. May we all dance at the wedding.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Kushner, for sharing your words of Torah and your stories with us this evening. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. Our thoughts now turn to those who have left this earth, either in recent days or in this season in years past. If there's someone who you are remembering this evening, please chat their name on Facebook stream now. This week, we are especially remembering those that have been yet to be laid to rest. Gary Luck, those who have died within the last 30 days. Dr. Joseph H. Kushner, James Vesnia, John Bielenberg, Richie Gluck, Gretchen Berggren, William Kreitzberg Spinrad, Carl Baum, Igor Kopolenko, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And this evening marks the yahrzeit of the following individuals: Selma Abelson, Tilly Abrams, Linda Albacher, Shirley Alkalum, David Altman, Golda Otterberg Altman, Madzia Genisla Altman, Merrick Altman, Ruth Addy, Clifford Barbanel, Ahava Bass, Joy Belmont, Alexis Benioff, Marianne Schlesinger Bernstein, Helen Brodsky, Harold Berger, Elizabeth Stokowski Burke, Victor Cape, Marjorie Cherry, Georgianne Conley, Marvin Cooper, Francis Sanders Day, Edward Debs, Emanu-El Dennebeim, Samuel Dobson, Campbell Ehrlich, Jamie Falls, Jerome Feldman, Paul Felton, Donald Fisher, Roy M. Frank, Herman W. Ganulin, Lillian Ganulin, Peter Gergay, David Maurice Gerstein, Rabbi Joe Glazer, Sidney Samuel Greenberger, Walter Haas Jr., Delphine Heilbrunn, Marvin Iskoff, Lawrence Israel, Abraham Joselo, Armin Katz, Robert Kleinbart, Boris Klibener, Balbina Weisberg Koplowitz, Bernard Mandel Kramer, Albert Kolbach, Shirley Lightstein, Harriet Gerber Lewis, Stanley Lith, Bertie Margulis, Ken Miller, Michael Middleman, Ida Moldau, Sophie Moncharsh, Irving Naxon, Alan Pasternak, Adeline Reich, Alter Rand, Ernest S. Rogers, Leonard Rosenberg, Betsy Rosenbluth, Edith Rothschild, Sylvia Rothstein, Veronica Sanchez, Sydney Schlossenberg, Patricia Scott, Mignon Schoenfeld, Frida Siegel, Jack Snyder, Louis Solomon, Frank R. Strauss, Richard L. Swig, Albert Waldman, Mark Walker, Robert Wortell, Harry J. Weinstock, Margaret Weissman, Elliot Winograd, and David Zucker Kendall. We continue together with Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. If it is your practice, please rise to join with the mourners today. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mivarach Le'olam Olmei Olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shemei Dekudasha B'rechu. Le'ela mincho birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, Amen.
V'imru, 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 Amen. V'imru, Amen. Return think it's time for some kiddush, for some kiddush. And if you're with us in the online Siddur, and if you have something at home, something sweet to make a toast to, we can join together. We are on page 5 in our Mishkan Tefillah online. And raise your glasses, everybody. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafein. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'masei v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Raise your glasses high. Baruch atah Adonai mekadosh hashavat lechaim.
Just one quick big announcement this evening before we conclude with Motzi. Please join us back here on Yom Kippur, which is on Sunday night, believe it or not. We're going to be joining together for Kol Nidre. The entire clergy team will be joining Cantor Addie and I up here on the bima, and we can't wait to welcome you in virtually. Kol Nidre will begin at 7 p.m. on Sunday night, and morning services will begin at 10 a.m. on Monday morning. Concluding services will be at 6 p.m. on Monday afternoon. We have tons of offerings in between all of those different things. Ibram Kendi's coming to speak. We have teen-led services, children's services. Everything is on our website. Please go ahead and check out the full schedule. We cannot wait to bring in the conclusion of our High Holy Day season with all of you.
And a special thank you again to John Hurton, who's joining us on piano, and to Eric Schoen, our faithful sound person, and to Steve McCurran, who is here helping us out tonight. So thank you everybody, and thank you to the community. We hope you're all doing well and healthy and safe, and please be in touch if you need to be in touch with us about anything. And we join together. If you have a little piece of bread, a little something to raise, we'll say a blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon, which means bon appetit. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Shana Tova, Gemar Chatima